We've all had the same thought go through our head when we're watching an NBA game. I could have done that. I hate to break it to you, but you can't. Since the NBA was formed, there have been over 2.8 billion men that have been born on this earth, and there's only been 4,500 players to play in the NBA, which means that the average male, no matter their height or athletic ability, has a 0.000002% chance of making it to the league, or a 1 in 500,000 chance of lacing up on an NBA court. The odds are not in your favor. Keep that in mind when you're watching a game and saying that you could have made that shot or that you could have locked that guy up and then gone down the court and made the right play on the fast break. The average person doesn't stand a chance in the NBA. But what if? What if an average Joe can pay for the opportunity to play against a current NBA player one-on-one and put their mediocre skills to the test against the best? A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do what every NBA fan thinks they can do. Well, you see this guy right here? He did just that.
Nah, he's too happy. He knows I'm here and he's too happy. I can tell he's scared. I see it behind that fake smile.
During this past offseason, the Celebrity Sports Academy, who organizes basketball camps, were once again going through their summer routine of setting up these camps for current NBA players. But this year, there was a twist. Alongside the payment to attend the camp itself was the opportunity to play a one-on-one to 2 points against a current NBA player under the Celebrity Sports Academy umbrella. If you had a chance to choose, who would you play against? A 6-time All-Star who just came off of a finals run in Jimmy Butler for the steep price of $700? How about an up-and-comer in Anthony Simons for $350? Or would you choose the 2-time All-Star and 4-time rebounding champ who crowns himself as the greatest rebounder of all time in Andre Drummond for the bargain of $300? I know what we're all thinking. We're choosing Andre Drummond. He can't move as quick as Anthony or Jimmy, and he's one of the worst shooters that I've ever seen. Unless he's throwing up 3/4 court shots, and in that case he's just Steph Curry. Which makes it no surprise that our boy Sean also made the same choice. A year before this one-on-one was offered, Sean made a TikTok in which a question was asked. Who's the NBA player you'd have the best shot of beating one-on-one? And with seemingly no hesitation, Sean said this.
Who's the NBA player you'd have the best shot of beating one-on-one? For me, I think I have the best shot going up against Andre Drummond.
Even though this video was likely made as just a joke, it didn't matter. It was time for Sean to put what every NBA fan thinks to the real test. You got this.
I get a hand up. I get a hand up. It's over.
This is going great. We definitely chose the right guy. After a few warning shots that bricked so bad that I thought the kids courtside were going to be in danger, Drummond, as he should, made quick work. Going at about 10% of what he would in an NBA game, he made Sean regret spending $300 to not even get a shot up, get dunked on, and clowned on social media. It really puts into perspective how there's levels to the world of professional basketball. You might be the best player in your city, your country, or maybe just the league that you're playing in. But if you think you have a legitimate chance at beating an NBA player one-on-one, you're just delusional. The NBA has about 500 players playing in the league right now, and there are thousands and thousands of elite basketball players worldwide that still can't make the cut for an NBA roster. These guys are the elite of the elite, and to put how good they really are into perspective, this is Sasha Vezenkov. During the summer, Sasha signed a 3-year, $20 million contract with the Sacramento Kings. And why would they sign a 28-year-old guy who has zero NBA experience, you might be asking? It's because Sasha has proven to be one of the best players in the second greatest basketball league in the world, leading his team to the EuroLeague finals, where they lost in a heartbreaking fashion as Real Madrid hit an insanely tough jumper with 3 seconds left to win the championship. Despite the loss, Forbes magazine praised the Olympiacos, stamping them as the best basketball team outside of the NBA. And their star player Sasha Vezenkov walked away as the EuroLeague's most valuable player, cementing him as one of the greatest current European players on the greatest team not in the NBA. So how does Europe's best basketball player transition onto an established Sacramento team? Through the first 11 games of the season, Sasha has averaged 6 points per game on what is just average shooting. Compared to his numbers from his MVP season just a year ago, it's like they're two different players, scoring over 10 points less than he did overseas and a 10% decline in field goal efficiency. In Europe, Sasha was the guy, and it was cemented when he won the MVP as the EuroLeague's leading scorer. But the NBA is just different. Out here, he's just another guy coming off the bench who you might throw in there to launch some threes and create a spark for the team. I must say, he does have a nice stroke. But Sasha isn't the first to open our eyes and show how good the talent in the NBA really is. In fact, here is every EuroLeague MVP's production measured by their total of points, rebounds, and assists, alongside their efficiency in their MVP season overseas, versus what they were able to do when they made the transition to the NBA. Other than Luka, who continues to prove his statement that scoring in the NBA is easier than it is in Europe, as he's averaging 11 more points in the league, no other EuroLeague MVP has ever been more productive or more efficient in the NBA than they were overseas. Not even one of them. Despite guys like Andrei Kirilenko, Nemanja Bjelica, and Nikola Mirotic who had solid NBA careers, they still weren't at the level that they played at when they won the MVP in Europe. For every Luka Doncic, Manu Ginobili, Marc or Pau Gasol, there are numerous failures to come out of the EuroLeague, whereas average NBA players rarely fail overseas, becoming successful game-changing superstars and ending up right back in the NBA the next year. Your average NBA player can dominate any other basketball player on the planet. We all know the offseason is the time when NBA players go to the Drew League or their local Pro-Am games to inflate their ego more than it already is. And these games against much lower competition always ends up with the same result: complete and utter dismantling of the opposing player, making it seem like they forgot how to dribble a basketball. And this embarrassment isn't usually done by the NBA's elite. It's often done by your average role players and sometimes retired ones. In July of 2015, a 36-year-old retired Baron Davis made an appearance in the Drew League and decided to show everybody just how good a way past his prime NBA player can be. Davis dropped 44 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and a disgusting behind-the-back dribble combo for an assist. Baron Davis was great in his time in the league, but even way past his playing days, he can still dominate guys who like to call themselves real hoopers. You know that Brian Scalabrine quote, when he told a trash-talking high school player that he's closer to LeBron than they are to him? It's the truth. The guy on an NBA bench can kill anyone, going at about 50% of what they would in the league. Current bench guys like Peyton Pritchard, Jonathan Kuminga, and former players have put that exact quote on display. In the summer of 2021, Pritchard went off for 92 points in a Portland Pro-Am league. Kuminga dropped 60 last summer, Brandon Jennings went off for 57 in 2014, and even Montrezl Harrell, who isn't in the NBA anymore, scored 46 points with 4 threes in a Drew League game as a career 10% three-point shooter in the NBA. The separation between the best player not in the league and a guy who is miles greater than what you actually think that skill gap is. Here's a video of a 40-year-old Mike Miller 3 years out from the last time he laced them up in the NBA. And these guys that he's torching one-on-one, those are Division I basketball players, some of the best basketball talents at the college level. Mike was a 10-point per game scorer in his career, but if you showed this video to someone who doesn't know who he is, they'd probably think that he's the white Michael Jordan. But it isn't. It's Mike Miller, wearing a baseball cap, sweatshirt, sweatpants, while trash talking as he reminds everyone that any NBA player is light years better than anybody. Kevon Looney's role on the Golden State Warriors is to rebound, play defense, and give the ball to anyone that can shoot. His role eliminates the opportunities to create shots for himself or run the fast break. But if you saw his high school and college highlights, you wouldn't think that that was a possibility. At these lower levels of competition, Looney was facing up for mid-range jumpers, driving to the cup, and going coast to coast on the fast break. He was playing like a miniature Kevin Durant. Like seriously, his nickname was the Baby KD. But to become the player that Golden State needed, he doubled down on his defense and rebounding ability, sacrificing the scoring to give his team the best chance at winning. If you watched Kevon Looney play today, you wouldn't believe that under the toughness and awkward play style lies a skill set that is far greater than many top-tier college or overseas players, which makes you wonder how many guys in the league actually have those skills but rely on their greater strengths for the sake of the team. I hope this video puts into perspective just how inconceivably great these guys really are. NBA players are machines. It's been shown time and time again that the worst player on any given team can dominate any level of lower competition. And as far as the elite of the elite players go, it makes you wonder if they're even human. But regardless of who they are, an NBA player is always better than you think.